Wrestling games are some of my favorites. I love playing them on my free time, or even make videos or stream them to any of my channels. I grew up playing them, mostly on the PS2, from the SmackDown games like Shut Your Mouth or Know Your Role, to the SVR games. I was disappointed when I wanted Legends of WrestleMania, but it was on the PS3 instead of the PS2. Even though I already had a PS3, I just preferred my PS2. My dad got me Legends of Wrestling instead, which sucked badly, because it definitely wasn't the game I thought of, and just didn't play good at all, but that's for another day. He got me the game I wanted shortly after, but then I realized most of the games after that started to release exclusively on next gen, so I started to get them there and got with the motion. But what about the games that did have old gen versions well after their time has passed? There's one game in particular I wanted to talk about, because when I found this out, I was very shocked. But then I found out another game that runs on the same engine predates this game, and that is TNA Impact, the only console game that was released for this company. Seeing how much I love the other game that we'll talk about soon, I figured I'd like this game. Before this video, I never got to play it, but trying this out, the controls are very clunky. Yes, there is a nice roster, and the 6-sided ring is included, which no other company had at the time. The graphics aged, what I'd say, is pretty great, especially for a game in this era, but the game just fell flat. I was more shocked at how good it looked. It definitely holds up to the day, but I was more shocked that I found out there was a PS2 port. Released on September 1st, 2008, this game released on the 360, PS3, and OE, and of course, what we're talking about today, the PS2 version. Now, keep in mind, I am totally legally playing these games on my totally illegal PS2. Do not question me. So take some of the things I say with a grain of salt, but I feel like in the end, it's mostly accurate, even though it is totally legally played and not emulated. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Loading into the PS3 version, also totally legally, has this nice epic intro into the menu. It has that big game feeling. The PS2 version, on the other hand, does not have that at all. Completely skips it, brings you straight to the menu, and for some reason squishes the menu, which is odd, because the main game on the old gen, or next gen version rather I'd say, does not have that at all. The entrances in the next gen version look pretty damn good. The pyro, the graphics, and everything. It looks amazing. And then you go to the PS2 version, and honestly it looks the same, except it's using FMV or MP4 video, whichever one they use. It is definitely the pre-rendered entrance. I am pretty sure, without a doubt, they took that from next gen. But you know, it keeps my hopes up. It looks good. And then you load in, and it looks fucking different as shit. I noticed while playing the next gen version, you can see pay-per-view posters on the guardrails, and the crowd actually looks kind of active, kind of fluid, and you know what, they have a bit of movement. The old gen version, it downgrades it hard. They're very stiff, nothing to look out in the crowd. It is definitely a different vibe, I would say. It is an interesting choice to port this game backwards. The game does look brighter, which is a good and bad thing. There are no shadows, so everything just looks fucking different as hell. Also, of all the ring textures they could have made, they chose the one with the dirty stains and footprints. It just, I mean, I guess it's realistic, but just, as I said, this was my first time playing this game. I don't know the controls at all, but luckily I could pause the game and it allowed me to check the controls to see how to do moves. As the moveset in this game, it is very limited. Everyone has like the same moveset almost, but it's nice to see what else I could do. Unless you play the PS2 version. Apparently they can't port over a simple controls menu into this game, which is it's a choice. It's definitely a choice. The game is definitely weird to control, as sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. But please, tell me if this was a game you all liked in the comments. Before I switch games, I want to check out the story mode in the game. I have seen the cutscenes on the PS3 version. I was originally going to quickly speedrun and see how I handled custom characters in the cutscenes. And then it just hit me. The cutscenes are also FMV imports, which I found weird at first because I wondered how they do it for my custom wrestler. Then it just skips me to Mexico. There is no custom creation in this game, which is very strange, and I'll get into it later. They give you an alternate costume for Suicide, which is weird, because the whole idea of the story is Suicide, who doesn't know who he was, and nobody else does too towards the end of the game, which is weird because the alternative costume it just looks like him. It's just him.
What'd you say? I said, you're DOA. Wait a minute. I know the tone of that voice. Suicide.
Okay, how you know?
But whatever, let's flash forward a few years and see the brand new game based off the same engine, but with a whole different company. The year is March 29th, 2011. A new game is released for the next-gen consoles, WWE All-Stars. Of course, as a kid, I was hooked onto any WWE game that released, so I just had to get it. Or well, beg my parents to get it for me. And I got it for next gen because I assumed there was no old gen version. SVR 2011 was the last mainline game for old gen at the time. And like I said before, Legends of WrestleMania was the only other spin-off game that released a few years prior to next gen exclusively. But color me shocked when I seen a tweet that many years later showing off that there was a version of the game I liked for an older generation. Kid me would have flipped out finding this out, probably grow up loving it more than the next gen version. But I'm 23 making videos on a wrestling game. What do you think my standards are? Now, I'm assuming the only reason they made this game is because the TNA game ran on the same engine. There's so many similarities between the two. So they just decided to snatch it and use it for this game. So going into this, I thought it was going to be an asset swap, but I actually made an effort into changing it up a bit. Now, I never said it was a good effort, but it was an effort. Loading in is just about the same, but first thing I noticed is that there was a create a wrestler mode, something TNA couldn't put in a few years before on the same engine. Still, for some reason, the menu is squished. Look at the menu, you see a render which looks pretty good. Hogan out here, you know, looking like his HD self. I think the graphics would look neat. So let's go into a match, and
oh my goodness!
This looks hideous. Now I'm glad they released it for PS2, and I'm sure they had to make some sacrifices, but god damn. Everything is pixelated and flat. You could tell that the clothes are just stuck onto the person. It's not actually like a different asset. SVR wasn't even this bad for old gen, I'd say. Now keep in mind, again, I am on an emulator, so this is all scaled up and a bit more smoother. If I was playing on a CRT TV, where it wasn't 1080p and upscaled, this might be passable. But god, imagine looking at the menu, then loading into this. Now loading the match, honestly, I like how the arena looks. It looks great, to be honest. And then the entrances happen, and it's just so pixelated. There's also loading screens in between each entrance, unlike next gen, it would just go entrance to entrance. This one has entrance loading screen, entrance loading screen. Now the core gameplay, and honestly, feels all the same as the next gen counterpart, but it does feel very slow and kind of clunkier. Everything works, but it just doesn't feel as fluid. At first I thought it was the emulator, but I think it's the game itself, because the game sounds like it was recorded with an empty bag of chips. Everything just feels so compressed.
This is just another way of imposing your will on your opponent. Pretty clever. Look at him block the attack. Just repositioning his opponent. What's he got in store for him now? A perfect time to do that. Very smart. And a flying head scissors here. He took a heck of a shot.
It sounds so crunchy and slow, but the game works. If I was a kid, I would have ate this up. Signature moves and finishers are strange though. And next gen, you get this whole little like darkened effect and camera cuts and slowed down. It just feels more impactful. The PS2 doesn't have that at all, which is weird, because TNA, they had the camera cuts.
Oh, this is gonna be good. He waited for the perfect moment, and then he hit the Styles Clash.
Look out!
And your winner, Rey Mysterio.
Even when winning, it stays on the hard cam. It feels very awkward. Everything's stuck on the hard cam, and it just makes it feel so much stiff. Story mode is the same here too, as the cutscenes are just FMV files of the next gen game, still squished down, but everything is there. And of course the PS2 doesn't get any of the DLC for either games, so no Curry Man, no Big Boss Man, no Honky Tonk Man, or no Big Papa Petey Man. Side note, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to talk about WWE All-Stars again. Of all the All-Stars in this game, including the DLC, Ted DiBiase Jr. is the only one to not do anything of note. Unless it counts stealing money from the government. Then it could get, like, S tier. But yeah, those are two games that was released on the PS2 well after they shouldn't have been. Thank you for watching. This is the first time I've written and spoken from a script, so if it fucking sucks, you know why. It's very odd. I've never done this before. Usually I try speaking from my mind. Yeah, it is... You guys should have seen all the fucking cutout lines that I fucked up. Even while reading, I'm fucking stuttering like a dumbass. But yeah, it's my first style of video like this on this channel, so let me know if you'd like to see more of these types of videos. Maybe I'll do more if you guys really like them. I have many more ideas coming, so, and I still have some videos of like traditional style of like my videos that I have already done prior, so let me know what y'all think. I am also working right now, so videos might be slowing down, and streams. Hopefully I get to stream more often, but I will try my best to. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you all later. Peace out. Love y'all. Good night.